wished I could be there live, but I'll be in Japan getting our budget approved too next year. So, you know, I was initially asked to be there, couldn't be there, but I wanted to have a few words to say about the program we have going and with the Coffee County education system called work-based learning. And the first thing you may want to ask is, how did we get involved into work-based learning? It's kind of funny. I'm sitting at my desk one day and Richard Skipper calls me and says that he's been to Georgia to somewhere to see this program that's working great with the youth of our county, and that they're actually doing jobs that benefit the company. And he said, you know, my name came to his mind and he wanted to know if it's something I was interested in. I told him to come up. We sat down and talked about it, and actually I started researching a little bit on it when he was on his way to cover about what the laws were. And so he just convinced me. It's I've been complaining to him that maybe sometimes the education system wasn't suiting our industrial needs, and this program seemed like something that was. And he and I both agreed to go into it and to adjust it the best we can and do it on the fly. And we knew there would be mistakes, and we've had some of those, but it's been good. And so that's how it all got started. It was just a conversation between me and Skip, and we decided to start it with about 6 to 7 people. And we went from there, and we are to where we are today. How has it benefited the company? And I had that question myself, and I told Skipper, I said, you know, this is just something that we want to do to help the community. And we actually weren't looking for any financial gain out of it. And but the amazing thing about it is what the benefits have been to the company is that it's turned into a profit center. So, and that's not something we were expecting that early. So with the changeover, we're making about a 1% less margin than we would with just our normal employees, full-time workers that come to work and work a full 40 hours a week. So man, if you'd asked me going into that if it would be that it wouldn't be that good, I was kind of hoping it would at least be a break even, but it's actually turned into a profit center. Now, when I say it's a little bit less than 1%, it's because the hours they work a lot fewer hours. But what we have seen is that the work-based learning students actually have a 30% faster learning curve than our hourly employees. I can't really explain why that is. I give some of the credit that to the supervisor, to Lisa Russell, who is somebody that we promoted into that position just to kind of be the mother hen of these students at the beginning. And she accepted that challenge and has done an amazing job with it. Now you may say, well, yeah, that's not that great, a 30% learning curve. But there are 6 of these people that they work in a cell. We do cell manufacturing, and they are rotating jobs. We normally do not rotate jobs until a person becomes fully educated in the job they're in. And so these kids, for lack of a better term, and that's what we call them, they're actually learning the whole role 30% faster, but they're also doing it while they are rotating. So they're actually learning 6 jobs where the average person would learn 1 in a 30% faster time frame. These kids, we expected to make a lot of mistakes with these kids, to be honest with you. We expected them to make to not follow the rules. We've all raised our own children and watched them run across the road and you know, not follow the normal rules of stop and look before you go somewhere. Well, when you're in a factory environment with fork trucks traveling down the aisles, we expected a lot of rule breaking, and not that they do it on purpose, but it's just it's out of their element. And to the contrary, we've actually seen very little of this, if any. And we have a camera system, and I don't mind telling you, I'm the big eye in the sky sometimes, and I come in and watch these videos of these kids working, and you just never see them breaking a rule. And that's pretty impressive in itself. So lockout, tag out, that's a rule that's easy to forget that can be damaging to you, and that they never forget to do it. So I want to tell you a story about their quality when it comes into their development. I was worried about, I have to also protect our customer from a quality standpoint. So I had our quality department come in the next day, and we would audit the work of these students that they had done the day before. And it was insane that we weren't finding any quality issues. And when we do what we call a doc audit, we're not just looking for something that's wrong, we're looking for something that's okay, but it could be a little bit better. And we weren't finding anything. So we reversed the table and had the kids inspect our employees' work to actually go through a doc audit. And man, they picked those mats apart and said, you know, it's like we wouldn't send this, we wouldn't send that. So it's a great turn of events. These kids are developing into young adults, and I think I actually have hope that we're getting back a generation we lost, because there's been several of them talk to me about their futures. We've already moved several into to different jobs and interests for what they're going to do in the future. So they're developing way beyond their years, and it's just it's a blessing to watch how they embrace this industrial environment. Our maintenance guys will tell you they get less calls to this cell than they do the other cells. Because if you watch, all these are guys right now. We only have one girl, and we don't have her anymore. All these are guys. And when a machine breaks down and the maintenance guy comes over, they have some desire to work on things. So they're like a sponge, man. They just and so they learn how to adjust their own machine. Where some of these people, when it quits working, they'll just call maintenance, you know, and go take a 10-minute, 15-minute break or something. This job's important, these kids, man. I'm telling you, it's important. If you ever sit down and talk with them, they have a problem, a personal problem, this job is important to them. I'm talking about to the point where you've got an 18-year-old kid telling you that this job is saving his life. Now, I don't know what that meant, but I know he's got a lot of personal problems in his life, but that's pretty stout when a kid tells you a job saving his life. I ain't got an employee one to tell you that. How will this experience help them with their careers, and specifically their careers at VIAM? It's a little early for us to tell this. I don't know where these kids will land, but I can tell you these kids will be successful wherever they go, because they're going to have a resume in their hand. Some of these college kids that we interview, they don't have a resume. They don't have practical experience. I'm not saying this program by any chance replaces a college experience. But experience, if you ask me which one I wanted, it would be a very tough decision. So, and these kids are going to have a resume in their hand. They're promised a job at VIAM if that's where they so choose to stay. And so if they complete this course and stay with it and keep their grades up, they'll have a job or a place here at VIAM in whatever field they're working in. So I think that has to be some comfort to them, and it's certainly something we're glad to have, because I'm telling you, these are young adults, and we call them the kids, just kind of as just a name, but they really are young adults. And I hope the video shows you some of what they're doing, but they have the ability to speak to you intelligently about their job and terms that will benefit them later down the road, such as Kanban, what is FIFO, what is a process control plan, how to check quality parts, and also that they know about tack times, and they know what time they have to produce their product to be successful in it. They're learning about coming to work and not coming to work having consequences is an experience that they're learning, and that the good behaviors pay because they have a bonus incentive in it and whatever not. So, you know, my advice is to anybody, if you're not involved in this program, you sure are missing out on something big. But you know what? Other industry out there and other school systems, if you don't want to fool with it, we'll be glad to take whatever anybody else doesn't want, because it sure is working good for us here.